past 15 years of my life, each summer I live up in the southern Adirondacks in a town called Speculator. And I love the outdoors up there, either hiking or backpacking, just generally being outside. I can be out there and I don't care about having an internet, even though it's a nice thing to have. So before we actually get into some of the things you need for backpacking, you can have, there's two different types of hikes. You can have a day hike, which is just a normal trip. You can go climb a mountain, go to waterfalls, whatever you want. And then you have actual backpacking trips where you carry a larger backpack that can house a whole bunch of equipment that you'll need to survive the night. So, first thing you have to do is to plan your trip. And we want to choose a trip that is suitable for everyone that is in a group. You never want to go alone, at least 2 people to go with you. So if you're new hikers or new campers, it's best to choose an easy hike. If you're experienced, you can use one of the 46 high peaks in the Adirondacks. Those are always great views. So each hike in that, I'm going to speak from experience in the Adirondacks. I don't know about other parks or whatnot, but in the Adirondacks there's a difficulty system rated 1 through 7, 1 being the easiest and 7 being the hardest for each trail. And so the first thing I have is a list of the top 12 high peaks in reference to the height. So we have Mount Marcy, which is over 1 mile tall, then Algonquin, Haystack, Whiteface, Dix, Gray Peak, Iroquois, Basin, Gothics, Colden, Giant, and Nippletop. And those are the top 12. So Haystack and Algonquin, I believe. Yeah, Haystack and Algonquin are 2 of the longest hikes. They are both about 18 miles long, difficulty of 7. Algonquin takes about 12 hours, while Haystack takes about 15 hours. So these 2 are great hikes to do as a backpacking trip. So you can sleep on top of the mountain if you want. So I have photos from Algonquin, which this is almost a mile high. I think it's just short by 100 feet. And this was taken mid-October this year. So already snow covered, which is just beautiful. So
how many of the 46 have you done?
I've done just 2 of them.
Which one?
Sawteeth and Colden.
All right.
2 of the easier ones because I brought non-experienced hikers with.
I was up Whiteface once.
Whiteface, I want to do that.
Yeah, but we took the gondola pretty far, so.
Yes, Whiteface you can use the gondola or drive up, but really good views I hear from there, and that's in Lake Placid.
Yeah.
So all the high peaks in the Adirondacks are in the Lake Placid area. So the things you'll need for backpacking, I took this list from REI. I think it's a really good list. There's 10 things. The first 5 are navigational tools. So map primarily, bring, and a compass. If you want to go bushwhacking, which is, say, I want to start from right here and go hike to the top of the mountain without a trail, you want to get your coordinates and use the map and the compass to actually make sure you go to that point, because it's quite tough to do that when you're in the forest. So next one is sun protection. You got sunglasses or sunscreen. Those are actually optional if you want. Clothing, lots of layers and nothing in wool. When you go in the summertime, you'll want to wear light layers, maybe pants that have the zips at the knees so that they become shorts if you get really hot. And if you go in the winter, you'll want a whole bunch of layers. Remember, nothing in wool because it will take away your heat and just make you freeze all day. And when you go in the winter, also, you can wear micro spikes, which are just spikes that you put on the bottom of your shoes so you have traction in ice and snow, or snowshoes, which are also fun. So number 4 is illumination, so flashlights or headlamps. If you're going to be outdoors at night, you're going to want to see stuff if you're not right next to a fire. Number 5 is a first aid kit. Just basic first aid. You can get a small pouch like that size from like REI, Dick's, Sports Authority. And they're nice and cheap also. So, number 6, you have fire starters. So waterproof matches, lighters, anything to start a fire. Pretty much you can have magnesium and flint. And then you'll want something to actually keep a flame for a while, so you can use lint, like the lint from your dryer, dry timber that you bring in a small bag with you, or candles. Number 7 is tools, so Swiss Army knife, you got your knife, can opener, all that good stuff. Number 8 is food, so not heavy, you can bring whatever you want, but if you want to go for a long time, just energy bars, dried fruit, nuts, jerky, and you can bring cans of soup if you want, if you're going out for like a night or two. So, you also want to have something for a bear bag, yes.
So what's a bear bag?
Okay, so a bear bag is, you put all of your food in it, and you throw a rope over the tree and kind of have the bag of food suspended in the air overnight so that a bear or any other animal does not rip open into a tent or wherever you're sleeping, trying to get at food. So it protects you from any animals. Number 9 is water. So just at least one water bottle with you. And then filtration systems, you can get gravity-fed ones or straws that filter out anything, or pure chemicals. And number 10 is a shelter. You don't have to, you can make your own, but tents and tarps or hammocks are all viable shelters for the night. And they're all, when you use a tent, just choose a light one, because I've carried 2 6-person tents on some backpacking trips, and that's not fun to do. So, extra supplies that you can bring: bug spray if for some reason you get attacked by mosquitoes a lot. A whistle if you get lost so people can find you easier. Phone, primarily a satellite phone, will have the best reception. Toilet paper is also a nice one to have, so you don't have to use leaves in the middle of the wood. And then if you like taking photos, bring your camera with. So I'm just going to talk about some hikes that I've done and some that I've actually done backpacking trips for. So this is Chimney Mountain. It's southern Adirondacks and Indian Lake area. Nice easy hike to bring new people on. It's about a 2.6 mile round trip. And if you see right here, you got Chimney Rock, which is the reason why it's called that. I have a better picture of it after, but then you have this rock face right here, and at the bottom of that there is Eagle Cave, which is the largest cave system in the Adirondacks. And when you try to crawl into it, you have to lay on your stomach and shuffle over about 30 feet just to get in. So that is Chimney Rock. It's an attraction for boulders or rock climbing. They have clips on it, so you can do it safely. One of my favorite hikes is Crane Mountain, the nice easy 4-mile hike. You got Crane Mountain Pond halfway up. It's actually quite larger than some lakes I've seen in the Adirondacks. Beautiful view, and if any of you are skiers, Gore Mountain is on the right side of the mountain. So that better views of the pond. So in another one is Snowy Mountain. This is also in the Indian Lake area. It is actually 10 feet short of being considered a high peak. So it is pretty tough hike. It's rated as close to a 6 on the scale of 1 to 7. It's about a 7.5 mile round trip. It takes a couple hours, and it is also one of the fire tower mountains. There's about 20 different mountains in the Adirondacks with fire towers on them. So you get an amazing view if you climb up to the top of those. And then this summer, I went up to the High Peak region and also did Indian Head. And Indian Head is in Keene Valley, which is about half an hour south of Lake Placid. It It's not a high peak, it is surrounded by high peaks though. So the mountain on this side is High Peak, the one on the right, I believe, is the side of Sawteeth. And then you had, on the other side of the Indian Head, you can see Mount Marcy, Colden, the Dix Mountains. So, as my conclusion, I just recommend to go backpacking or hiking. It's always a great time. You get beautiful views like this. So that's Lower Ausable Lake, if you were wondering. It's a great time. It's a fun activity to do for a day or a couple days. So that is my presentation.